Hello everybody and welcome to episode 1 of Toon Revival. If you couldn't guess from the title, we're going to take Newcastle United back to the promised land, hopefully, because there's no guarantees in the way I play games, back to the promised land of the Champions League, potentially also league titles, maybe even an FA Cup or two. Who knows? It's all up for grabs. I did a little poll on Twitter a while ago, just gauging interest in what people would want to see on a Master League playthrough, and the questions were: where do you want me to play? How do you want me to play it? Things like that. So basically, there was an option of Europe or Asia or England, and but overwhelmingly, people wanted to see a Premier League style adventure. So we're going to be in the Premier League. I also asked, do you want the club team lineup or do you want Master League original lineup? And again, it wasn't even close. Everyone wanted to see the club team lineup run through their paces, and then I wanted to know, can I move around? Do you want to see me move around a journeyman style save where I start off at a small club and work my way up? Or is this going to be a building project? And again, everybody was very interested in seeing a building project. And so that is why we have ended up on the doorstep of Newcastle United, a once great club who can be great again. They've certainly got the fans for it. It's just that they've got a shitty owner. So in this particular playthrough, we're going to pretend that he's not in charge of the club anymore. We're going to pretend that Mike Ashley has been outed from Newcastle United by a group of well-meaning investors. Fans, maybe some sort of fan collective, have got together and managed to force him out. There isn't a massive amount of money to spend. It's basically whatever the club can make. In my personal opinion, as an Arsenal fan, I think that's how you should run a club anyway. You should only spend the money that you can make as a business, as a club. Obviously, it would be lovely to have a billionaire come in and just start throwing money around willy-nilly, but it's not realistic. And if we're all honest, that's not how football is going to be able to. We're not going to be able to continue this madness, this absolute madness of the amount of money that we're spending on football on a year-to-year basis. It's just not sustainable. So once the bottom falls out, hopefully the way that we run this club, we're going to be in a much better position than some. So club team lineup, there we go. Choose the club where you want to manage. We are going to be managing a Premier League club. As I've already said, we are going to be trying our best with Newcastle United, and you can see there all of the new players have been included. You might also notice that all of the badges are correct. Man City, Liverpool, Leicester, Burnley, Brighton, Bournemouth, all the way down to Wolves, West Ham and Watford, and even Tottenham. So yeah, that is because I am using the PES Universe patch, the option file that you can get from PES Universe. As a silver subscriber, I was able to get access to it on day one. Unfortunately, Pro Evo let themselves down a little bit. The update for the game wasn't released until the 12th. That is the day that I am recording this. That's why the series didn't come out on the first day, on the day of release on the 10th. But if you'll forgive me for that, we can move on. So, Newcastle United, there we go. Now, what do we want to look like? I think we are going to go for... I've seen everybody going for this Arasil character. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Right, well, there's a few Japanese characters. Dudfield, he's a suave-looking motherfucker, isn't he? Look at him. I think we're gonna go for Lothar Matthäus. But are we going to keep it as like? I think it would be silly not to call him Lothar Matthäus, wouldn't it? Really? Okay, we're gonna go with that. Why not? Now, this is the important stuff. How are we gonna play? Transfer frequency, normal. Negotiation difficulty, normal. Starting budget, definitely normal. First window transfers will be enabled because we want the game to be able to flow from the get-go, and also I want to make a few transfers when we get started. Salary display, I'm going to... Now, I've always changed always changed. I've always played with salary displayed as annual, and the last time that I played Pro Evo regularly was back in the days of PES 2018. I don't think there was an option to change it from annual to weekly. Maybe there was. Let me know if I'm wrong on that one. But I'm going to change it to weekly because it just feels like it would be more realistic to what's going on now. A lot of you will know that Pro Evo this year features much more realistic valuations for players. I'm not sure that the salary is necessarily going to be realistic in all aspects, but it will give you a better feeling of what you're actually paying these players on a week-by-week basis. I found that the annual contract was just not really realistic, but also it didn't really feel like you knew what the players were taking home on a week-to-week basis. Match level. Okay, so we could go for Superstar. I'm going to go with top player for the moment, and then if we find it too easy, then we can always bump it up to Superstar. Alternatively, if we get hammered every week, I could drop it down. We'll just see how we get on. Match time, we'll keep that there, and I think that the currency unit is going to be pounds, and stop during the transfer window only when there's progress. That seems fine to me. Cracking on. Okay, I want to try and get through all of this boring menu-based stuff as quickly as possible and get into the meat and potatoes of this game, and that is, of course, on the pitch between those white lines. Okay, so now we're getting a nice little tour of the hallways of Newcastle United Football Club. Going to meet a couple of the players. I know that's Lascelles. I don't know who that is on the right though. We'll figure that one out sooner rather than later. Ah, there he is. Maxime, the French winger that came in this year for quite a lot of money actually. A lot of people criticise Newcastle for not spending money, but they've definitely spent some. Now, one of my friends who is a Newcastle fan said, take over Newcastle and basically fire every single player into the sun, except for Cher and Richie. I don't know if we've got the budget to do that immediately, but eventually I think there's a fair number of players that are going to end up on their way. We would like to discuss the objectives. If we want to be aiming higher next season, then we need to take at least the 6th position in the league this year. How does that sound to you? That sounds a little bit ambitious for Newcastle. I think we can finish top half, but I definitely don't think that we can finish top 6. And we're not going to win the league. Good lord, that's a bit optimistic. I think we're going to say we can finish in the top half of the league. Hang on, I want us to finish in the top half of the league, specifically the 13th position or higher. In order to achieve this, we're going to need to focus our efforts on strengthening the squad this season. 13th position is not top half of the table, Lothar. I'm sorry, your maths isn't that great. It seems a rather modest objective, but I suppose you have your reasons. Let's aim for that. Yeah, I do have my reasons. I don't want to get fired in the first year at the club. Thank you very much. It's good to know that the coaching team's behind me at least. 13 out of 20. 13th out of 20 is not halfway or more. What is going on there? Okay, well, I mean 13th or higher, that suits me. You notice all of the sponsors up on the board there. That's all included with the PES Universe pack. Definitely worth checking them out over at PESUniverse.com. You will be able to get a hold of a free... I say free. The auction file is free, or it's always free. The difference is that one of the perks of being a member, a silver or a gold member, is that you get access to it a little bit earlier. You're not paying for the auction file. Well, I mean, we are. Let's be honest, we are. Okay, what's your plan? I have my own ideas. We need to strike a good balance. It's up to the players. Okay, so obviously this is a case of, does the manager put his foot down? Is it player power? Or are we somewhere in between? I think we need to strike a good balance. It's a great honour to be given such an opportunity, and I'd like to thank everyone for making this happen. I can't read apparently. My philosophy is that balance must be maintained. I want to keep what works and put my own stamp on what doesn't. What style of football do you want to play this season? I mean, winning football. I want to see clean, sportsmanlike football. I want to put on a show. I want to see the boys play hard. I mean, I don't want people sent off, so let's go with sportsmanlike. Winning is always the objective, but I like to play football that the fans can be proud of. We should avoid dirty plays and time wasting, and play the game the right way. That's what I want. That seems reasonable, wouldn't you say? I would. Man, jumping from 2018 to 2020, it's a huge leap. Like, these cinematics are pretty fun. Okay, welcome to Master League. This is the beginning of your career as a manager. First, check your mails in Manager's Office messages or press the triangle button. Access the diary from the top left panel at any time to peruse a record of all dialogue spoken during cutscenes. When ready, go to the forward time menu to advance. Pardon me. Oh dear. Oh, God, it's late. Go to the forward time menu to advance the calendar to get the ball rolling. Haha, I see what they did there. Ball rolling. You scallywags. Okay, so messages, training regimes, okay, scouting activities. This is basically just telling me all stuff that I should know already. Managing the budget. Managerial career, yeah, people are interested, blah blah blah. That's never going to be a problem for us. The main schedule for August: national team squad announcement on the 21st. Premier League gets underway on the 22nd. On the 27th, we've got a European Best Player award, and then the last day of the transfer window is on the 31st. We have not got long. We've literally got a month. Take a look at the season objective. Your staff and sports director is set and see no problem with it. From a business perspective, I'm sure this will have a positive knock-on effect for the club's status. Okay, right. Let's have a look at our squad, shall we? Okay, now I have been having a little play around with this game for the last couple of days, and I have developed my own ideas as far as tactics that I like. So we're gonna give this tactic a go. It's a 4-3-3, although honestly it looks more like a 4-2-4. Central midfielders might be a little bit deep. We're going to sit them a little bit higher up, and we'll bring Almiron back a little bit. And Maxime is basically a winger, so let's put him back out here. Could still have him as a second striker, just play out slightly wider, give more support, or we could have him as a proper wing forward. Start him as a wing forward and we'll go from there. Okay, so it wasn't so much the positioning that I was interested in with that, it was all of the other little instructions, because if you go into preset tactics, attacking instructions, so I like to play a possession game, short passing obviously, playing the ball out wide. I like to get balls into the box from out wide positions. Positioning is flexible. I just think if you tell them to maintain the formation, that you don't get any kind of free-flowing football going on. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me today. So we'll keep it flexible. And support range is just kind of 50-50. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's just in the middle. Defensive instructions, we're going with front line pressure. We're going to try to push them out wide where we can, because we do have, I think, some pretty decent centre-backs who can head the ball, so we should be alright from that perspective. Pressuring, I'm going to go with, I know frontline pressure normally you'd go with aggressive, but in this instance I'm going to go conservative with a deep defensive line. It's just a little bit safer. You don't overcommit, basically. So yeah, that's what we're going to go with there. And compactness, again, middle of the road, 50-50. Now let's look at some of these players we've got. We have 3 right backs at the moment. And Yedlin is definitely the standout in terms of pace. I don't know about anything else, but we'll start with him there. I do like Dummett as a left back. I think now we should... Oh yeah, I need to move some players around. We do have Jetro Willems, who came in this summer. I don't know if I prefer him to Dummett. He's certainly much better rated. Maybe we should play Willems to start with and see how we get on. I love Hayden as a central midfielder. I think he's got a lot of fight, a lot of will to win the ball. He's got good passing. He's a decent little player, so we'll keep hold of him. Shelby gives you more passing in that area, but he does like to put his foot in, so I think that we'll go with those two at the base of the midfield three. Almiron, come on, I mean, Almiron's the best team in the squad, without doubt. I mean, there's a lot of good players here. You've got Saint Maxim on that side. Richie, really, when you look at these other two up front, Joel Linton, the big, strong, battering ram of a centre forward. Saint Maxim, well, Maximin? I want to call him Maxime. Anyway, he's a much more kind of like speed-based player, so obviously playing him on the wing is going to be preferable. So he's a very good dribbler of the ball. Richie's kind of solid, but is he really that much of anything else? I don't know. Like, we'll start him, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to be our first choice right winger in a few weeks. Rest of the players are all pretty much of a muchness. Are there any players that we desperately... I mean, I'm not sure if Matty Longstaff is ever really going to make it. His brother Sean, I do like a lot. But Matty just... I don't know. I don't think he's really showing much at the moment. What else have we got here? Atsu's another very, very quick player. Can he play right? He can play right wing. And he's left-footed. Okay, so there's an option there to Richie. Muto could play out there as well. He's right-footed though, so he would be more of an orthodox winger as opposed to a inside forward. Goes right-footed as well. He's cracking on in age a little bit as well, so maybe Gale will end up making way. I think maybe that's a player that we could look to cash in on. Let's put Richie back on the right wing for now. Andy Carroll. I mean, he's strong. Give him that, but I think I would rather have had Hosselu, honestly. So we're going to have to make a decision about who we're keeping and who we're selling. Ki Sung Young, decent player. I think that he'll be in rotation with Hayden and Shelby. Also, he probably could play as an attacking midfielder, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. This isn't the screen to be looking at this stuff. Okay, we're going to play a game. Maybe. See if we get any offers for any players. Looks like there is going to be an offer coming for one of our players. Who is it? No, no offers for players. Instead, our scout is giving us some suggestions to strengthen the team. Okay, so Leo Baptistao, he's a Brazilian, 27 years old. He's a goal poacher who can play primarily on the right wing, but can also play through the middle. He could play on the left-hand side as well. 27's creeping up. Weekly salary isn't too high, certainly affordable for us. Market value 8.6, release fee of 10.9. Okay. Jonas, another Brazilian. This one is a central midfielder. He's got a playing style of the destroyer, so he's definitely a ball winner. I don't think he's necessarily any better than what we have, so I don't think it's really worth the time. And Onazi, oh dear, that's unfortunate. He's a Nigerian. He's another kind of central midfielder, ball-winning type. He's more of an anchor man. Can play right back as well, which we have plenty of. We don't have, apart from Hayden, we don't have any out-and-out defensive midfielders. But for 16 million, I'm not interested in buying someone as a backup. And I don't really want to cut Hayden's legs out from under him. I think if we sign a player who's better than him, we're basically killing him. So I think we're going to leave all of those for the time being. While we're here, we're going to go into my team. Let's sort according to rating from best to worst. And then from the bottom, we're going to go through and have a look at players that have potential. Okay, so Matty. Alright, he's got a dipping shot, he's got a fighting spirit, and he's got step-on skill control. He's 19 years old. He's not going to hit 70 for at least 3 years looking at that. I think maybe we're just going to say goodbye to Matty Longstaff. How much is he worth? 500,000. Okay. Going to transfer list him. We're not going to transfer list Sean Longstaff. I like him. I think he's got potential. Although he looks like he's going to be tailing off, so we're going to have to play him an awful lot if we're going to get him to push above 75. But we'll keep him for now. We've got 3 goalkeepers in our squad. I normally don't like to have more than 2. Darlow's going to flatline for the next year and a half. Elliot's on a downward trend, so we're going to say goodbye to Elliot if we can get any offers for him. We only have 2 left backs, so Dummett's safe for now, and also he's pretty steady from now until the 30th birthday. Yedlin isn't going to get any better, but neither are Manquillo or possibly Kraft actually. Neither of those look like they're going to get any better. Manquillo's 25, Yedlin's 26, Kraft's 25 as well. Kraft can cover at left back. Manquillo can cover a lot better at left back. I think we might be saying goodbye to Kraft. Let's see what his pace like. Weak foot 3, which is important for a player who's right-footed who can play at left back. Speed 79, acceleration 78. He's marginally quicker than Manquillo. Weak foot accuracy of Manquillo isn't as good either. Maybe we get rid of Manquillo then. Right, Kieran Clark. I love the guy. I love Kieran Clark, but his form, like he is starting to look like he's going to go off the edge of a cliff. Atsu again. He looks like he's as good as he's going to get, and I think we can probably do better in the market. So I think we'll probably list Atsu. Muto. He's 27. He's not going to get any better. Do we keep Gale and get rid of Muto? Hey, Muto's got an awful... Muto can cover a lot of areas. Muto can cover pretty much the entire attacking midfield as well as attack. He's a centre forward primarily, but... I mean, he's on 20 grand. Could cash in on both of them and get a decent replacement. Right, what have we got here? We've got Maximin, Joelinton, and Richie are our front three. And then coming in behind them, we're going to need another centre forward and probably a winger that can play either side. We could just keep Muto. How is Gale as a centre forward? What's his finishing like? 74 finishing, 85 balance. I don't know, it's touch and go really between the two of them. I think we just keep Muto because he's younger. Right, Clark we already transfer listed, yep. Atsu... See, Atsu can cover those wide areas as well. He's very quick as well. He's going to tail off a little bit soon. Maybe we'll take him off of the list for now. Muto will keep off the list. Key we need to keep hold of because he's cover for the midfield for the time being. Lejuan is slow as fuck. How many centre-backs have we got ahead of him? Lascelles and Shah are basically my starting two. Fernandez covers. Dummett can play centre-back as well. So I think probably Lejuan we're going to get rid of. Or at least list. What did we do with the right backs? Manquillo got listed, didn't he? Yeah. Carroll we're going to get rid of. Matt Ritchie's staying. Fernandez is staying. Shelby's staying. Almiron's staying. Shah and Lascelles are fine. Depravka. We might look for a better goalkeeper in the long run, but he's fine for the time being. And then Joelinton and St. Maximin, they're both fine as well. So I think that's gonna do us. That's everything. And this has been a really boring first episode. No match play this week, but maybe in episode 2 we will get down to some gameplay. Until next time, thank you very much for checking this out and for being with me. I hope it didn't put you off too much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.